because I'm late. Dearly departed, should I say dearly beloved, we're gathered here on this day to talk about this thing we call money, all right, and life actually. But happy Wednesday to everybody. I'm Kamari Ellis. Welcome to Wealthy Wednesdays. Wealthy Wednesdays is the day that we answer money questions, right? So you're watching the Finance Rebel Show, but on Wednesdays we take time out to answer questions. Hi, Rise. How are you? I think this is your first day with us. But listen, the Finance Rebel Show is all about increasing financial IQ. Y'all know we do this every week at 8 p.m. sharp-ish, right? Today I am super late, but I got an excuse. I got a reason. I was supporting a Black-owned business. But y'all that know me, that know with me, love me, rock with me, know I do that all the time, all day, every day. But I had to get my roof done today. It wasn't a last minute thing, kind of been planning, but today was the day. And I had to meet the date that the contractor said that we had to do it. So I had to step up to the plate. They got done a little late. And so that's why I'm here. That's why I'm late. I hope you all can forgive me. But, you know, I was doing the community's work by making sure I keep our money in the community, and also by highlighting. So I'll put a video out highlighting the contractor. Great guy. He's done some work for me before, Mr. Tyrone Rollins. So, Mr. Leonard Richardson, how are you? Over on Facebook, how you doing? So do me a favor, everybody. If you know anybody that wants to learn about money, wants to increase their financial IQ, share this out with them. You can share on IG by hitting the little arrow, the little paper plane. Put me right in their inbox or their DM, right? On Facebook and on YouTube, you can just hit the share button and then share it out to somebody or some community that you know and like. So I'm going to kind of do the same thing as everybody gears up and put their questions in the comment section. What y'all got? There's a lot going on. There's a whole lot going on. Too much going on, honestly. As I set up, I'm going to share this out. But again, put your comments and put your questions in the comment section. And then I can get to answering those questions. Anybody paying attention to the market? Anybody paying attention to the stuff that's going on around the market? Hi, Robin. How you doing? I saw a story about a 20-year-old man who committed suicide because he saw a negative account in his Robinhood portfolio. Very, very sad. Papillion 0512. I think I said that right. Correct me if I'm wrong. And Nicole, no. How you doing, Nicole? Here again. You're not tired of me yet? Boss Man PG, how you doing? Happy Wednesday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, I can't even share this thing. But okay. Yep. Committed suicide. Sadly, committed suicide. I keep telling y'all that a lot of people, when it comes to their money, they don't have the emotions, especially when it comes to money and investing. They don't have the emotions. They don't have the emotional fortitude to deal with the ups and downs of the market. That's why I'm not really, really big on getting newbie investors into trading. He had an account over at Robinhood. Somehow this guy had like a $16,000 account, but he got access to leverage, right? Leverage of $1 million. So many people don't realize this. You can get Mr. Wallace. How you doing? A lot of people don't realize this. Once you establish a trading account, if you set it up right, you can get leverage, right? So it's just like getting a loan for your business. You're getting a loan from the brokerage company. So this guy got a loan of up to almost $1 million. Again, I don't know how he did it because they usually do it in multiples of 2, 3, and 4. So at $16,000, I don't even see how he got more than $100,000 in margin, in a margin account. But this guy had, y'all ready for this? $750,000 at minimum. And what really drove him over the top was that he had over $750,000 loss showing on his account. Now, if you're new to investing or you haven't seen how the accounts kind of fluctuate from time to time, they don't always reflect what's truly in your account, right? Because sometimes you gotta let the account settle. So, for example, let's say you bought a stock today and it's sold tomorrow. Well, the money's not even all the way in there from the sell. So then you got to wait for it to settle, but it might show a negative. It might show a negative balance. So you have to be really, really careful. And he saw that $750,000 negative in red, and that that was it just drove him over the top. I mean, it's sad, right? Because I know he said he didn't have any other money coming in. Robinhood is not releasing any information about it because of his privacy, confidentiality. I get that. They're totally right for that. But he left a note to his parents, and they kind of knew his situation. And when this article was in Forbes, by the way, and when they talked to him, they said, he didn't have any money. He was 20 years old. He was worried about his future. And then he didn't know what to do. And then sadly, he took his life. So, my heart goes out to him. My heart goes out to his family. But what we have to always remember, folks, there's always another day. There's always another day. And money is just a tool. So, I'm not trying to minimize his death, but, to put it in context, money is a tool, right? So I'm not going to take my life over a hammer that, might have fell out of the window that I lost. Even if we want to ratchet it up to bigger tools, like there's some big money tools out there, right? Some big compressors, some big generators that go into 5 figures. I'm not taking my life over that. And, the other thing is, I know a lot of times our young folks are very, 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 I don't want to say impatient, but let's say impatient, right? They're definitely products of this new microwave society that is going on right now. And so because it didn't hit the way he wanted it to hit, when he wanted it to hit, how he wanted it to hit, I can only imagine that was part of the reason that drove him over the top. Now, again, I'm speculating. I am by no means trying to make light of this man's death. However, I do believe it's a teachable lesson. All right. I believe you can learn from everything and everybody in life, no matter what their station is, no matter how rich or how poor they are. You can learn something if you're humble enough to figure it out, or if you're humble enough to just study, watch, and listen. So again, this guy killed himself because he saw his trading account go negative by $700,000, right? 6 figures. $750,000, it was a negative. But again, we don't know if that was the real way to do it. Patience is usually always the key. Shout out to Kevin Gee that's on here. Shout out to Mr. PDQ. Shout out to As Told by Desi. So a few others. Thank you all for joining. Thank you. Kevin, somebody sent me a message to deliver to you. I'm like your messenger boy today. I think you'll find it interesting. But again, not trying to make light of this man's situation, but again, I do think it's a teachable moment, and it's very, very, very sad. So listen, no amount of money is worth your life. No amount of money is worth your life. You can always come back and fight another day. I know that it's cliche, but it's so true. It's so true. Listen, when you take your life, you are exhausting all your options. You are exhausting all your opportunities. If you come back another day, at least you have another day to fight. At least you have another day to try. At least you have another day to learn. So don't take this thing we call life too serious, and don't take this thing we call life for granted either. All right. So, saying what's up to my people. Said hello to you, Robin. Hello, hello, hello. CJ Willis, Chris, what's up, man? How you doing? Is that a new picture of you? Like you dropped some pounds. Good stuff. Golden ratio, TLC 28. Hi, I'm just seeing what I can learn. Well, golden ratio seems like you already on to something. You're talking that golden ratio talk. Jamar Thomas, thank you for rocking with me this week and every week as you always do. Appreciate you. Edith Richardson says, Kim Dickerson, good evening. Sharing this financial goodness. Thank you, Miss Edith. Delita Andrews, I hope I didn't say her name wrong. Rochelle Donald, thank you for joining. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Jamar Thomas, did you see how far U1 went up? I owned some shares and sold it before it dipped. Did it dip? I saw it go up. I didn't see the fall. Oh, Chris, that's an old pick from 07. Okay. So, all right. So we're talking about Urban One, often known around the world as Radio One. So we can definitely talk about that stock. T-Real Kev, how you doing? How you doing? Yes, Kevin, I would definitely tell you offline. It is not a online conversation. It's not a bad one either, though. They just asking for your perspective about kind of what's going on around these parts. All right, so we want to talk U1. That's what y'all want to talk today. I got some other things I want to talk about. So before we get to U1, I just want to show y'all something real quick. Real quick. Ms. Edith said the FDA just approved a video prescription game for kids diagnosed with ADHD. Well, a lot of the children with ADHD love video games. So if there's something prescriptive they can do, I guess, I don't know, but I guess. Lolo ESFRDE R923. Thank you for joining. Welcome. Next Level Dreamers, thank you for joining. Charlie from Philly is in the house. What's up, Charlie? Charlie Philly. Thank you for taking time again today. Appreciate you. So I just want to show y'all something real quick. So, I mean, I'm sure everybody has noticed all the pandering that's going on by people these days. Folks talking about they want to help. And when I say folks, I'm not talking about black folks. I'm talking about white folks that are outside of our community. Everybody's saying they want to help today. And so I said, all right, well, if you really want to help, put your money where your mouth is. So I put a piece out, and I just want to show it to you all. I put a piece out, I think it was yesterday. Put a piece out yesterday titled, Dear White People, if you really want to help the black community, do this. All right, so I wrote a piece on Medium. I also did a YouTube video about it. I've gotten pretty positive reviews from it. A lot of people like my recommendations. I attacked it from a personal and a corporate standpoint. And basically, I just said corporations can give and so can individuals too. Everybody can give, right? It's not just one person or one company. Everybody can give, and you can do little things, right? Like put $1,000 in a black-owned bank account or a black-owned bank, right? Open up a bank account at a black bank and put $1,000 in there. Black banks in America only have, or should I say, they don't exceed $5 billion in deposits. There's roughly 21 billion. There's roughly 21 billion black-owned banks in this country. And all 21 combined do not exceed $5 billion. What do y'all think about that? That actually disturbs the living daylights out of me. I mean, there's roughly 40 million black folks in this country. We are a major economic driving force by many, for our size, right? Let's not be confused. I think many of us get confused by the numbers and think that we generate 100% of all economic power in this country. But for our size, we definitely punch against our weight class. The U.S. GDP, gross domestic product, basically the sum total of the economy here is somewhere between 16 and a year. Black folks spend about 1.2 trillion a year, just to kind of put it in perspective. But when you look at our unemployment numbers, when you look at our net worth numbers, when you look at all the financial numbers against all other communities, you would think we have a whole lot more money, but we don't. So I go into this. Some folks, yes, that is right. That's why our banks don't look too good in comparison. Karan, I totally agree with you. And it's sad. It's really, really sad. But we need to take some of that money and put it in the black banks. And those people who are talking about helping our community and not wanting to see us protest and riot should also put some money into the black banks, because it helps everybody almost immediately overnight. All right, so I talked about a couple other things. I talked about black banks. I talked about as well spending money with a black-owned business, spending money with your HBCUs or contributing money to the HBCUs, right? Most black doctors, lawyers, engineers, architects, PhDs come out of HBCUs. So if you want to see the black community do better, put some money into HBCUs. There's a myriad of reasons why, right? Again, many times HBCUs have a hard time competing against PWIs, or what they call predominantly white institutions, right? Many times, even our athletes, right? When we talk about athletes are recruited by PWIs over HWCs, that's why there's a new kid that's about to come out, and he's talking about going to an HBCU. Can't think of it, but that's why it's such a big deal. It usually doesn't happen. And sadly, the majority of our athletic talent goes to PWIs. And guess who gets all the revenue? All the ad dollars, all the sponsorship dollars, all the conference money. Like the whole college sports thing is very, very incestuous. But it goes to PWIs instead of HBCUs. And HBCUs have always, right. His name is Mikey, but what's his last name, Boss Man PG? What's his name, Next Level Dreamers? I can't think of his last name. But, again, our money goes outside of our community in every way, shape, form, or fashion for all things that don't benefit the black community. And I'm talking about black folks right now. It would be great for us to have our children go to HBCUs. But again, my dear white people letter was just an over letter to white folks and all these corporations talking about they want to help. I also said folks should give money to black professional organizations. I am a member of the Philadelphia Association of Black Journalists. We do a lot. And I don't even think people really realize just how much goes into journalism and how important journalism is to the black community. When you think about people like Frederick Douglass, Ida B. Wells, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, W.B. Du Bois, many, many, many more, they were all journalists. And they all kept our story in the forefront. And it's important to make sure we support those people that are in the forefront. But at any rate, I went on and I talked about corporate support as well. I suggested that major corporations contribute $1 million and open up a bank account at a black-owned bank. I mean, can you imagine? There's only 21 of them. And if you got the entire Fortune 500 to open up 21 bank accounts with $21 million, it's not really changing their situation. It's not even a gift. That would change things drastically. Now, do I expect them to do this? No, I ain't crazy. But I was pleasantly shocked today when I saw the CEO and his wife of Netflix pledge, I want to say $121 million to HBCUs, $121 million to to HBCU. So you know what? Let me look that up real quick, and then I'll get back to Urban One. I'll get back to Urban One just real fast. Give me 1 second. So I see a couple comments on IG. All right, Mikey Williams. Mikey Williams, thank you for that. Next Level Dreamers. Oh, you read it? Nicole, thank you for reading. Appreciate you. Charlie Felix says she's going to talk to me later concerning HBCUs and something I'm involved in for them. All right, awesome. Awesome. 40 Spelman, 40 Morehouse, 40 United Negro College Fund. Is that how they divvied it up? Jaw Speaks, my homegirl Jessica. What's up, Jaw Speaks? Everybody go follow Jessica. Jessica actually helps me get right with my content strategy. She's a little evil genius when it comes to content marketing. I should really call her happy genius when it comes to content marketing. She's not evil at all. So let's look at this real quick. I just want to pull up what Netflix did, right? I think they read my article. I think I could take that credit. I put it out before they did it, right? That's why it's important to publish first, only when you got your context proper, though. A lot of people just publish stuff just for the sake of publishing. All right, so Netflix CEO donates $120 million to Black colleges in an effort to reverse generations of inequality. He gets it. I mean, you would think everybody gets it, but some people are too busy with their head up their ass. Sorry, I'm thinking of Scarface, but I probably shouldn't go there too tough. So yes, $40 million to Morehouse, $40 million to Spelman, $40 million to the United Negro College Fund. Great stuff. Kudos. That's great. Can you imagine though if more people did that? Now, I mean, totally honest. We kind of talked about this on Sunday. When I say we, I'm talking about the Black Wealth Project. If anybody follows me, you know I started another project dedicated to nothing but Black wealth. And so myself on the Black Wealth team, we actually talked about who should fund the movement. So I am also leery, right? So this is the other side of the fence. I'm always leery when white people give money because typically white people want to control things when they give money. However, we need the money. So hopefully this money is given without a whole lot of stipulations, without a whole lot of purse strings. Hopefully, you know, Morehouse, Spelman, and the United Negro College Fund in their negotiation, because I'm sure there was probably negotiation that they stipulated that they wanted free reign to spend the money the way they wanted. By the way, did anybody know that Rockefeller started Spelman College? And I want to say Morehouse too, but definitely Spelman. Interesting fun fact. I'm Brooksy. How are you? But anytime, right? Because forget about black and white for a minute. Anytime somebody gives you a whole bunch of money, I don't care if they're green, orange, or yellow, they tend to want something in return. They usually don't do it just for the good. They typically, again, have some type of personal interest, business interest, corporate interest that they're looking to satisfy or trying to leverage, either now or later. So I'm always skeptical of that. But shout outs to them for Hastings for doing that. All we can do at this point is just hope for the better. All right. So all right. So we wanted to talk about Urban One. Is that correct? Am I correct in that? Now, I saw some people talking about Urban One. I'm a big fan of Kathy Houston. I'm a big fan of Black media. I just told y'all I'm a member of PABJ, Philadelphia Association of Black Journalists. Is actually the oldest chapter of the National Association for Black Journalists, right? So, you know, I have a lot of love, respect, and admiration for journalists and broadcast and media overall. However, I'm not the biggest fan of Urban One. I know some people that work there. I actually go do radio there, right? But I'm not an employee. I don't get paid. I actually interned there in the Philly station years ago. So I just went in our station, in our market in Philadelphia, for Black folks usually have Power 99, which is the bigger station, and then we have Radio One, which is owned by Urban One, because they did a whole big rebrand to include Radio One, TV One, and it's now called Urban One. And so the reason why we're talking about this is because they had a massive jump. Let me paint the picture for you. Hi, Tara Nicole. How you doing? I don't think we've ever met before, so I'm Kamari. Nice to meet you. I do these every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Today I was late. I apologize. But let's talk about this real quick. Urban One, oops. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't share the screen with y'all. Do me a favor while we're all waiting for me to get everything up on the screen. Remember, I'm Kamari Ellis. This is the Finance Rebel Show. This is the Wednesday edition, which is Wealthy Wednesdays. And I ask that you all share this because I'm on a mission. I want to help more people increase their financial IQs. I'm making that like my personal mission. One of the things that I do is I like to start the introduction of financial education because y'all know I don't like the term financial literacy through stock purchasing, small shares of stock purchasing. And there's a reason for that. I believe for financial education to be worth anything, you have to combat the consumer mindset that's been installed in all of our minds by the major corporations that pump thousands and thousands and thousands of commercials in our head daily to tell us to spend something, to attack our wallets and our pocketbooks, to deplete our savings accounts, to basically leave us broke and put all the money into the 1%. Now, everybody complains about the 1%, but most of us are willingly giving our money to the 1%. And as it relates to Black folks in the Black community, we don't take enough time out to support Black-owned business. Why do I say that? I just mentioned that there's $1.2 trillion in spending in the Black community every year. Guess how much of that money that actually goes to Black businesses? Anybody got a guess? Anybody going once, going twice, 3 times, 4, 5, 6? Nobody. All right. So out of that $1.2 trillion, roughly 2%, 2% of that money is spent with Black-owned businesses. Yeah, it's 2%, y'all. Now, it's complex. It's nuanced, right? I get that. Black folks been under the heel of oppression through redlining and Jim Crow laws and Black codes for several years. However, after 64, 65, with the changing of the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act, and then in either 68 or 69, we got the Fair Housing Act, we haven't really been consciously trying to rebuild Black Wall Street. And I mentioned 68 or 69 and 64 and 65 because there was a major sea change. Never will you hear me say that racism disappeared. It did not. It just changed. It just morphed. However, I would love to see the Black community change and morph with the times, right? And that's not a diss to the elders or the ancestors, right? Because they fought for our rights for many, many things. I think many people get king out of context. I think many of us judge people from current day situation versus past situation, right? We can't really judge folks. I say we can't judge our elders and ancestors. Many people say they failed us. You can say that, you can make that argument, but I don't think we have that right to criticize, critique, or judge. We can analyze though. We can analyze. And the reason I feel that way is because we weren't in their shoes. We weren't getting hit by hoses. We weren't getting attacked by dogs. We didn't have to live in poor rundown homes because of the laws that were on the land. And those laws that were on the land, if you broke them, you got mollywopped upside your head. So I think it's really bad to judge our ancestors and elders. However, it's 2020 right now. And so we're still having the same issues. The unemployment rate is still about the same as it was when Dr. Martin Luther King marched on Washington. So the question we all have to ask ourselves, including myself, is what are we going to do to improve our condition? And so many times I see so many people dogging our community, dogging Black-owned businesses, when in actuality, Black-owned businesses employ more Black people than anybody else, with the exception of the government. So again, the question is, I'm not ignoring the conditions of the land. I'm not ignoring the policies of the land. I'm not ignoring the racism of the land. But we can't expect somebody who created policies that called us 3/5 of a human, that honored so-called pseudoscience and said we were subhuman. And we still see this to this very day. We still see this blueprint to this very day. There are still people getting lynched to this very day. Somebody in California, a brother in California, just got lynched. It's either this week or last week. We saw Rashard Brooks, with all of that that's going on in Atlanta right now. And you would think George Floyd would be enough, but it's not. So, again, we have to start asking ourselves this question. The writing is on the walls, ladies and gentlemen. What are we going to do about it? I can't expect, and I don't like talking like this, but I'll say it, I can't expect people in systems that have always wanted to see us in subservient animal-like roles to do anything for us. I think that's lunacy. Now, I'm not saying that, I'm like Malcolm X before Hodge when he said nobody can help. I'm not saying that all white people were bad, because we know who John Brown was, right? What I am saying, though, that what are we going to do for ourselves? Nobody else. We can't look for a handout or a hand up from anybody else but ourselves. So at what point are we going to start saying, you know what? I'm going to go spend my money with Black folks. I'm giving my ammunition, my dollars to everybody else that really doesn't care about us. Think about Michael Jackson when he says, all I want to say is that they don't really care about us. We clown Mike, but Mike was dropping bombs and bars on us years ago. R.I.P. Mike Jack. So, again, I didn't mean to go on that rant, but something just came over me. I don't know what. Don't ask me. But, it was just there. So all I'll say is that we got to start doing for self. That's not new. That's Nation of Islam, Marcus Garvey, 1920s, 1930s, 1940s. Maggie Anderson got a great book. I know Maggie Anderson got a great book. I talk about that book all the time. And Alton, I'm playing with you. But here's Maggie Anderson's book right here. By the way, Alton was not paid to say that, to prompt me to show the book. I don't get any rights, royalties, or publishing from the sales of this book. But I think this book shows and it illustrates a great story. I think everybody should read it. And if you're not familiar with Maggie Anderson, here's a quick 30-second overview, and then we'll get to Urban One. Maggie Anderson did an experiment. She shopped Black for a whole year, excluding things like mortgage, car note, such and such and such. But she brought Black from a Black business in terms of food and groceries, gasoline, and they were not in ample supply. There were not a whole lot around them. I'm in Philadelphia. I do not know of any Black-owned gas stations. So I don't have the choice. So what does that mean? To me, that means a bunch of us need to get together and buy a daggone gas station or figure it out. All right. There's no Black-owned supermarket in Philadelphia. With over 700,000 Negroes in the city, we don't got a supermarket, and we got a lot of food deserts. Supermarkets are rough. right? But again, that tells me that some of us black folks need to get together and put together some money to buy or start or create a supermarket. At the end of the day, it starts with us. We can't wait for anybody else. We can't look for anybody else to do. Alton, here's a quick little tidbit about Maggie Anderson. She did 2 TED Talks. There's 2 of them up there. If you look at them, they're very similar. There are some slight differences in them, but I will watch both. I've interviewed Maggie a couple of times. I've met Maggie in person. Brought the book, promote the book. I talk about it all the time. Y'all should read the book. Get the book. Matter of fact, when I start the book club back up, I'll probably read that book. We'll probably do a reading of that book. But I talk about the conditions in Philadelphia because I say all that to say, I'm sure there's other major cities and suburbs where blacks live, because blacks just don't live in the city. We live in the suburbs, we live in the city, and we live in rural areas, and we're all connected. We got to learn that. But I say all that, we still all have the same struggle, some way, somehow, right? The question is, what are we going to do? Everybody's sitting back talking about where's the leader. We don't need a leader. We just need one another. Can we talk? Can we be respectful? Can we show some integrity, right? Because that's my bottom line. So I'll be honest, I can't work with every black person because sadly there are a lot of black people who are sick, and sadly there are a lot of black people who lack integrity. And so no, I can't rock with them, because rocking with them is going to make me look like an idiot, and then I can't do what I need to do to try to help folks. Those are the conversations we're not having, though, right? There's a lot of charlatans out here, y'all. A lot of y'all getting duped out of y'all money because many folks, not you, but many of us like the glitz and glamour. We like the superficiality of things. We like the celebrity of things. We love folks that get out of cars with big mink coats with jewelry and they think that's it, because we've been programmed by people that are not black to emulate and like and love what they emulate, like, and love. But we haven't gotten rid of our condition. So again, my apologies for that diatribe. Every now and then I can get up on my soapbox. But listen, at the end of the day, when you look to your left and to your right, who's going to be there? And so we really got to start making some deposits into ourselves. So, all right, y'all, I ain't going to bore y'all no more. I'm probably venting on y'all a little bit because I was talking to my son earlier. My son's 26, and so he usually gets the wrath of all of my stuff when he does something wrong. And I ain't ranting at him because I hate him or I'm mad at him. I'm ranting at him because I know he can win. I know he has the potential to do it. Sometimes, like, did you think about that? And then I have to think and say, he's only 26. Now, some people might say that 26 is full grown, but there's studies out there that say that the human brain does not totally formulate until you're 27, 28. So are you really an adult, or have they been lying to us too? So, all right. But anyway, UO, Urban One, I'm really not a fan of the company, folks. I'm sorry. It is black owned. I don't believe that just because something's black owned, and y'all might think this is a contradiction. It is not. All right. Based on everything I just said, I don't believe just because something is black owned that it automatically gets your hard-earned dollars. No, it should be worthy of your hard-earned dollars. If anything, it should treat you better. It should treat our community better than anybody else. And I want to be clear, right? Business owners make mistakes, right? I make mistakes. I got a bunch of clients mad at me right now because I got hit so hard this tax season. And I've never got hit this hard with everything that's going on, right? So I'm not talking about mistakes. I'm talking about unscrupulous, dirty dealing that will just never get back to you, or just won't do right at all. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that got attitude for no unnecessary reason. Listen, when you go spend your money, you're not doing anybody a favor. All right. So you should be treated with respect. You should be treated with integrity, transparency, and honesty. Every business, regarding your skin color, regarding your ethnicity, regarding your race, should give their patrons that respect. All right. So let's be clear about that, right? Because I get some folks, again, I'm still ranting on y'all while I got the UO chart up. Some folks think that just because they black owned and you're black, that they're entitled to get your money. No, 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 no. I have to earn my customers' trust. I have to earn my customers' money, right? I have to put in more value into my customers than money that they return to me or money that they pay to me. I mean, that's it, bottom line. Bottom line. And if you ain't doing that, you're not really about business. People love Apple because they like their products. They like the customer service that they get. Are they perfect? No. And this is not a commercial for Apple. I'm just using them as an example. People love Chick-fil-A, even though I know they've been in trouble. They've not been friendly to the homosexual folks, especially homosexuals in the black community. And they've got some other issues as well. I saw a picture of them saying that they support Blue, some of their workers. But guess what? I've never ridden by a Chick-fil-A that's not packed. Why? Because despite all of their nonsense, they have great customer service. They have great customer service. So listen, we need great customer service at our black-owned businesses. But all right, Chris, CJ Willis, I'm sorry. I went on a loop. So U1, which is Urban One, dipped hard. For my IG folks, I have Instagram. I'm a little hyped right now, so I need to breathe. I have the chart of Urban One up on the screen, and it dipped hard. Chris said it, but it went from $6 to $40 in a day. And as you see on the screen right there, it's reflecting that. It's reflecting that. So on June 12th, what day was June 12th? Was that Monday? No, that was Friday. June 12th. June 12th, Urban One closed at $1.84. All right. Come June 15th, which was Monday, it closed at $6.54. Again, on Monday, it closed at $6.54. On Tuesday, this thing is crazy. On Tuesday, it had a high of $40. It went to $40, y'all. Like, when this happens, something is wrong. The laws of gravity apply to money and stocks. All right, I want y'all to remember that. The laws of gravity apply to money and stocks. All right, so it went to 40 on Tuesday. Why? What changed about the business? Did the business get a new contract? Did they get something better? Did they get something new? No. The market said, I want to buy. Now remember, last Wednesday when I talked about stock prices going up, stock prices going down. Stock prices go up when you have more people buying than you have selling. Stock prices go down when you have more people selling than you have buying. Clearly, since Monday, we've had more buyers than sellers in the stock. So again, on Wednesday, I'm sorry, I'm losing track of time on my days. On Tuesday, it went to $40. Somebody said they sold at 35. Kudos to you. Uber fist pump, right? Black power to you, because that was a great move. That was gangster today. So it went it went to a high of 40 yesterday. It closed at $27.19. Today, it closed at $12.71. It had a high of $22. It actually opened, right? So I want y'all, when y'all hear me talk about high, open, and all that, right? So when the stock market opens at 9:30, right, that's the open price. And then the stock market can either go up or down, or a stock, right? when I say stock market or stock, I'm talking about whatever we're talking about. Right. So today we're talking about Urban One. So the stock opened at, again, today it opened at $22. The high was $22. It didn't go any higher than the open price. It actually had a low today of $11.76. And then it closed at $12.71. And I can illustrate this for you now. Right now, I have what's called a daily chart up, which is daily bars. Each one of these bars represents 1 day's worth of price action. But I can break this down hourly. So when we go down to the hourly chart, we can get even more granular. And this is a bit more advanced. I don't, again, if you're a brand new beginner, we don't preach day trading over here. We just talked about the guy who committed suicide. That's part of the reason why I don't talk about certain things, because I'll say this, and I feel another rant coming on, but bear with me. I'll say this. I'm realizing that people listen to me. I don't take that for granted. I swear to you not, because people have been listening to me for a while. I didn't realize it because I just do what I do. Say, hey, Cindy, thanks for joining. It's UONE. So U1. We're looking at Urban One. But now that I know that people listen to me, I am extra careful. And I've been doing radio and television for years, right? So I'm always careful when I crack the mic, when I'm on the mic, to be very responsible with what I'm saying. And that's why I'm always giving y'all disclaimers. And I'm pulling back because I can get very excited about business and stocks. But just because I'm excited doesn't necessarily mean you should be excited, right? And I'm here to promote investing in business and just good acumen across business and investment overall. However, some of us can get in over our heads, like the guy I talked about earlier today that died or took his life because he thought he lost money. Still not clear that he lost money, right? So sometimes I get into these little tips with some friends of mine. I see them post stuff, and I know other people are following them, and I feel that they posted it irresponsibly because I've told them that they're doing it irresponsibly, but yet they still do it, right? So I can't police everybody, but I just want y'all to know I do all these things because I recognize that, you know, some people do hold me up on a pedestal. I don't deserve to be on a pedestal. I'm just a man. All right. Just trying to be impactful and make a positive change in my community. At the end of the day, all y'all got to do your homework. All y'all got, somebody put that in the chat for me. Do your homework. All y'all got to do your homework, right? All of y'all. Just because we're talking about Urban One doesn't mean you should buy Urban One. I wouldn't buy Urban One, even with this big spike. Just because it had a big spike over the last couple of days does not mean that it was a great investment opportunity. It was an accident. Somebody made some money by this by accident. I saw somebody talk about it. I ain't gonna call you out, but I might say, who sold at 35? Who sold at 35? Come on, let's have real candid conversation. I saw somebody say they sold at 35. All right, so Jamar, you my man, you coming in every week. Was your selling, was that an accident or did you plan that? Now keep it funky with us. And listen, there's nothing wrong with getting lucky. I tell y'all about trades. I've gotten lucky on plenty of times. See, here's the thing. It's okay to get lucky. The big thing is put yourself in position to get lucky, right? So, but they're two different things. So people will benefit from a trade, don't understand why they made it, don't understand why it went up, and they think they're like the next Warren Buffett. No, sir, no, ma'am, no, you are not. Baby boy, baby girl, calm down. Cool your jets, right? So when we look at U1, like I said, on Tuesday, on Monday it took off, on Tuesday it took off. Today it kind of cooled off, and now we're looking at the hourly chart. And so today is the 17th. So I'm just going to go to the day because I don't want to bore y'all. So the 16th, y'all see this green bar right here. This green bar just sprung up. So we went from $6.49 up to 19 bucks is the high. All right. And that's an hour, and that was 9:30 on June 16th. So this is the market open. So you see, and if I go down another time interval, it'll look even crazier. But you see here, it just jumped. Then it cooled off a little bit, right? That was at 10:30. So that was between starting at 10:30 going to 11:30. And then going from 11:30 to 12:30, it cooled off a little bit more, started to bounce back, right? Bounce back. That's 1:30. This is 2:30. That's 3:30. And then the market closes. So then it starts over today. So then you see here, we close at 34.60. Next day comes the U1, U1, and it opens at $22. $22 at 9:30. Remember, the market opens at 9:30 and then closes at 4. Don't try to trade in the pre-market. Do not try to trade in the aftermarket. Remember, I told you that. Don't try to trade in the pre-market. Don't try to trade in the aftermarket. Things get very wacky. Volume is very scarce. A lot of people get taken for a ride during those times. All right, but so the next day, June 17th, today, 9:30, opens at $22. By the time it's 10:30, it's at $16.62. So again, my folks on IG, y'all can't see this because I can only show the screen on do y'all want to see my screen? I can reorient it and maybe just show it to y'all. Y'all let me know on IG and maybe y'all can kind of follow along a little bit better. I hate that I can't get to all three of y'all because everybody likes different platforms for different reasons. All right, so then we see it just fall. And so I would think, right? Okay, so Karan says, I don't really like U1, but if it hits $1 again, I'm going to play with it. Okay, if it hits $1 again, yeah, I'm on YouTube, Tara Nicole. Kamari Ellis is my my tag on YouTube. So Karan, if it's $1, why are you gonna play with it? What's your goal? What's your objective? You just said buy and hold. So are you going back on me, brother? Are you buy and hold? Or are you a day trader? So that's the other thing about investing, right? You have to understand yourself and your strategy. You see other people getting that big money, right? I'm from the crack era, y'all. So y'all might hear me use some doughboy terminology. But you see everybody riding around with fancy caddies and the Audi 5000s, and you think, wow, maybe I should sell drugs too. Not, right? So listen, and that's no knock on the doughboys at the time because they were trying to get it out. They could get it. And many of them didn't know they was misguided and wrong. However, most of us kind of knew it was wrong. At least after 87, 88, 90, somewhere around there, right? Folks getting killed, folks going to jail, just like the stock market, folks getting killed, folks going to jail because, but Karan, you just said you're buying hold. So I say all that to say, and I'm not questioning your investment acumen, but I say all that to say is find a strategy, stick to it, master the fundamentals, and then move on. You got time, folks. A lot of us chase lottery tickets for no reason. What do I mean by lottery ticket? Again, I'm a product of my environment. There was a lottery store. There was a cash checking place a block from me. Everybody would go buy lottery tickets there. How many people actually win a lottery? Does anybody know the odds? It's like 1 in a billion, but we still play because we hoping, wishing, and praying that we get rich one day and we can move out the hood or get rich enough to go buy some nice things and make things a little easier, a little nicer. I get it. But nothing substitutes the hard work. The work is the work. I tell my kids that all the time. I say that to people. Y'all probably hear me say it here. The work is the work. And every time we try to shortcut the work, we shortcut our abilities. And we shortcut our bread, our money, actually, because sometimes we need to put in that extra money, that extra work to just hone our craft. But all right, so Jamar sold U1 at 35. Congratulations, great trade. But I do want to know, did you get lucky on that, or did you plan that? All right, Jamar Thomas says that's dope, even though those folks that held on still made almost double because it closed at like 11 today. Yeah, the question is, do they know their exit strategy? Do they know what they want to do? Like, I commend Jamar because he got out damn near at the top. Like, that's solid work right there. Again, I don't know if he said it went to 40. This makes no sense. This company's money or profits did not increase anymore. Why did it go up so high? Right? All right, so I lost place. All right. Thank you, people. Do your homework. Please do your homework. Chili Davis, my man. Thank you for joining. Chili joins us every week too. Yes, this is very much a classic pump and dump. I saw a lot of black people buying Radio One, Urban One, because they thought they were doing something to help the company. I don't want to go too deep into that because it can get complicated. So if you understand the IPO and then secondary market, it's different. So usually the owners or the executives and the board make their money in the IPO. Sometimes stocks are granted to them after IPO when you go to work for a company. But, there's not necessarily a whole lot that you're doing for a company when you're buying in the aftermarket or the secondary market. And so when I say secondary market, I'm talking about when the company is very well traded and acknowledged and established. So Delita Adams, I hope I'm saying your name wrong. I hope I'm saying your name. I hope I'm not saying your name wrong. So can somebody answer this question for me? She asked, what are my thoughts about Forex? I think y'all ask me the same questions every week sometimes. So Forex, if you are asking me about Forex, I'm going to assume you are a beginner. I don't recommend Forex to anybody beginning into the market. I look at Forex, I look at trading, I look at day trading, or I look at commodities trading and options trading for the beginners as lottery tickets. They're searching for a lottery ticket. We don't need lottery tickets, folks. We need hard work. So what I would say, though, is learn the basics, understand the market, understand how Forex or currency, and Forex stands for foreign exchange, how it all interacts. Find out why people are always talking about the value of a dollar and how the value of the dollar sinks. I think many of those people are still following old school economic theory and rules, but that wasn't the question, nor is the day-to-day to talk about that. But understand that all. And then when you feel that you're ready to get into Forex, paper trade first. All right. Ryan, why are you laughing at me? Ryan's got like 20 LOLs. Pandering to African Americans. I'm not sure why you said that, CJ. Yes, everyone has to earn your business. You must have heard my rant. Sorry. All right, folks. My IG just went down for a minute. I want to let me save the video. This is quite frustrating sometimes. Let's see. All right. Anybody have any questions? Put them in the comments section. We don't need leaders. All of us need to get on code 100. When there's leaders, they assassinate them. I get it. But how do you get on code when a lot of the people don't like each other? And not because of any real beef or any real personality issues, because there are personality issues, right? But I'm just talking about like manufactured beef because somebody said hello wrong or gave you a glance that didn't sit quite well with you. How do we overcome that? How do we overcome that? Because I agree with you. I feel that Black people need an agenda. We keep looking to See, Jamar, you were trying to get me to go on another rant. Didn't I give y'all enough rants already today? Y'all don't want to hear me go on another rant. But I'll say this. We need an agenda, and we don't need to be asking white folks to give us an agenda. That's my opinion. But here's the thing. If you're not sound and secure enough in your blackness, you're always going to be asking somebody that doesn't look like you for their opinion and output on things. And that doesn't mean we can't learn from other people that are not black. But when it comes down to it, I think there's enough black genius around the world, not just in the United States, around the world, to foster a lot of greatness, to promote a lot of greatness. But hey, man, what do I know? I'm just a bald-headed brother, just here to talk about stocks. All right, so Carol said she's on chapter 9 of Maggie's book. That's great, Carol. Congratulations. Let me know when you get done. I really want to hear your thoughts on it. So you won. It popped up. It's kind of like a pump and dump. I'm not excited about it because I'm not excited about the company. Like, tell me, any market that y'all watch, either TV One or watch or listen to Radio One, is that ever your first choice? Right. So again, all right, Jamar, you're gonna be right there with me, my man. So going back to going back to Urban One. I was trying to take that off the screen. Okay, so Terry, you can see my screen. Okay, welcome, Terry, by the way. So, going back to what I was saying about Urban One, is the company any better? Like, is it good when in the morning when y'all driving to work, or at night when you're driving home, or whenever you're driving? Are you listening to the radio? Are you listening to podcasts? I mean, when do you do that? Nurse Boss Lady, how are you? Thanks for joining. Like, when do y'all listen to the station? Do you think a lot of people listen to the station? Is this station number one, right? So these are the questions you should be asking about stocks. Like Warren Buffett says, don't think of it as a stock, think of it as a business. And I think by now y'all know I talk more about the stocks as a business than just a stocks fluctuating up and down, because I cater to the individual beginner who's starting off at this. So I try to stay away from all the fancy smancy stuff, the glitz and glamour, and just keep it basic. Is this a good company? Will this company be around for 10, 20, 30 years? Do they have a great product? Do they value their customers? How is their customer service? Right? How do they treat their employees? Like, all of those questions are things you should be thinking about when it comes time to buy stock. Yes, you will definitely see short-term spikes and glitches in the market up and down. If anybody remembers the flash crash, right? But you'll have them up and down. You can definitely make market money. You can definitely make money in the market when the stock market goes up and when the stock market goes down. But you need to understand all the mechanics that go into it to really be good at it. All right. So Rochelle Donald says, I have a mutual fund with a company. If I decide to close the mutual fund and want to transfer the funds to a Fidelity investment account, are there tax implications with this transaction? Maybe. How is it owned? Are you profitable with the mutual fund, or are you losing money with the mutual fund? It really matters. Is the mutual fund owned in an IRA and a 401k? How is it owned? So to kind of, I would need more information to truly answer that. But let's just do a generic one. Average individual owns an account. It's not in an IRA. Usually, if it's not in a Fidelity mutual fund, because Fidelity is a mutual fund company, first and foremost, and they also have a brokerage division. But Fidelity makes a boatload of money off of mutual funds. Everybody knows I do not like mutual funds, right? So Bossman PG says P&E is important to watch. P&E, personal protection equipment. What's P&E? Profits and earnings. Are you talking about profits and earnings? Bossman PG. So, again, let's say your average Joe Schmo opened an account at some mutual fund company. I don't know where. But yes, let's say you sold out of, let's say Vanguard. You sold out of Vanguard mutual fund and you wanted to go over to Fidelity. Typically, there is a tax implication. But again, I don't have all the information that you're talking about. That's particular. Hit me up in the DMs or IG, or you can email me or text me. You can text me too. I put my text number out there. If you call, I usually don't answer, so don't bother to call. But you can text me. All right, so you can text me questions at 484-278-1357. 484-278-1357. And while we're at it, listen, everybody that's watching, I am trying to grow my YouTube channel. If you appreciate the content, if you get value from my content, like my YouTube channel, go subscribe to it. All right, so going to CJ Willis. What are your thoughts on this situation with Hertz and people buying even though they filed for bankruptcy? I didn't do a whole bunch of digging on Hertz. I read that Hertz put out basically a bunch of worthless stocks. We talked about Hertz a couple of weeks ago from a pure business. How many people are renting cars right now? I'm sure there's a market somewhere, right? But there's not a lot of flights. But people may want to travel somewhere. They don't want to drive their car, so they get a rental. But Hertz has way too much rental inventory cars that they rent out. And so they're selling them. They're selling them for super cheap to try to make good with bankruptcy and comply with the bankruptcy guidelines. But I don't really see how Hertz is going to make it at this point. Now, I haven't looked. And remember, y'all, Yahoo messed up my flow. I need to find a new flow. I haven't done it yet. I don't see how Hertz makes it and their subsidiary companies. They have a couple other umbrella rent-a-car companies under them. I think Thrift Rental, and something else. So what is Hertz? Hertz. What's the ticker symbol of Hertz? Hertz Global Holdings, HCZ. HCZ is Hertz. Let's see, it's $2 today. The company has a market cap. The company is worth $284. So this isn't like a special situation where you might have a mega company. Many people know I talk about Ford a lot. That's worth $25 billion. That's got like $35 billion in cash, and then just slip below a certain level. This company is a bona fide penny stock. It's a bona fide penny stock. So again, I speak to long-term, 10-year type stuff, right? And I speak to that for many reasons, not just because of the beginner. Wealth is created over time, not overnight. Over time, but not overnight. Is that a bar, y'all? Wealth is created over time, not overnight. And so one of the biggest things, and I try not to use this term. Listen, one of the biggest things when it comes to creating wealth is a term called capital allocation. And what capital allocation means, and I'm not trying to be super duper technical, but I want y'all to understand this. What capital allocation means is how are you able to analyze, evaluate, and review risk as it relates to the potential reward, right? You have to be able to look at, and if I'm losing, y'all let me know. I'll try to come back and make this more simple, right? So If you think about it, if you go into a hot day on a corner and on Broad Street or your main thoroughfare or your main street in your city, and it's hot, and you got ice cold water, and let's say you spend $50 on them, right? They're 50 cent a piece. You got 100 of them. You spend $50 on it, and you're going to sell them for $1. How hard do you think it's going to be to double your money and sell them all out and get not your $50 back, but now you have 100? So you made 100% profit. How hard do y'all think that will be? Come on, talk to me, y'all. Talk to me. I don't want to talk to myself tonight. Shelby, what's up, Shelby? Are you packed and ready to go? Bossman PG says they're now hiring more people. Are you talking about Hertz? CJE Inc., how are you? Thanks for joining us. Boomer Go Blue, thanks for joining us tonight. Every night we do Wealthy Wednesdays where I answer questions live and try to give everybody a piece of my insight from my over 20 years of experience in the financial services industry, from a tax perspective, from an investment perspective, from an overall a money nerd perspective. That's why I come here every day. Okay, so Hertz is hiring. That's interesting. I wonder how long those jobs will last. Yes, Women's Financial Empowerment Group. You get hit with fees each time they sell, and they don't get great at predicting or timing the market. So not worth the extra money you do. Like Amari said, do the homework. Thank you. 5-Star Tax Solutions. Hey, Ladina. Shout out to Ladina. That's my homegirl. Yo, y'all go follow 5-Star Tax Solutions on IG, and she's on YouTube. That's my homie there. You talk about a woman that'll give you a word of inspiration. Ladina don't pray for me, but she be praying for me, y'all. And she be keep me prayed up and inspired up sometimes. So shout out to Ladina. I appreciate you. So Jamar Thomas says, if you need a car and got the money, Hertz is having a sale. Yeah, they're having a sale, but isn't it like in Georgia or Florida? So like I'm up in Philly. I can't get down there. Bossman PG, listen. Bossman PG asked, can Tesla hit 3K one day? Listen, Tesla can do all things with their Savior, Lord in Christ, Elon Musk. Like people just love Elon Musk. Elon Musk is like the new Christ. People love him that much. Tesla is not a profitable company at all. And so I will openly admit this. I've never invested in Tesla because I just said, I don't see how this company is going to be profitable and maintain their stock price, right? So listen, y'all, I try to be transparent with y'all through the good and through the bad. So I missed that trade, or I missed that opportunity because it keeps going and going and going, just like the Energizer Bunny. However, I still stick to my guns because I don't believe that Tesla is a good company. I think it's got great ideas. I think they make a good product, but they have not yet figured out how to be consistently profitable. And where their company is, where the stock price is, in my opinion, is way overvalued. But you'll learn the difference, right? Again, this is me being truthful between having opinions and what the market says. I'm pretty all of us have said at some point or another, and we looked on social media and we're like, how is this person making money? How are they doing this? This stuff is trash, but the market likes them for now. The market likes them for now. So at some point, the market will figure it out, and either they will go higher or they'll go lower. But from where I'm standing right now, I wouldn't invest in Tesla either. And I do think Elon Musk is a very, very, very smart man. I do. But he benefited from, he very much benefited from tax subsidies. And people don't realize that. And many of those are over now. So I'm not sure what's going to happen to him. All right. So nobody has chimed in about capital allocation. And when I said, how hard do you think it would be to make money in the middle of the street selling water during a super duper hot day? Yeah, SpaceX is definitely there, Daniel, but is SpaceX even making money? It's I mean, because let's not forget, right? He doesn't have that market corner. Amazon, or is Amazon's thing is Blue something, or should I say Jeff Bezos is Blue something? I forget what it is, but they're looking to kind of do the same thing as SpaceX. So, and I believe Richard Branson's in the market, and there's a few other people. So, it's not like Elon Musk is going to have the space market. I don't even believe I'm saying that, but going to have the space market tied up. And quiet as kept, he's not necessarily going to have the electronic car or the electric car market tied up for too much longer either. So the question becomes, will that stock price remain the same as we get more competitors on the scene? We've seen the new IPO from that company we talked about last week, Nikolai, named it the Nikolai Tesla. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting. All right. So since nobody answered my question about the dollar or the 50 buying water for 50 cents, selling it for $1 in the middle of a hot summer day, there's virtually no risk there, right? So I was getting back to a point about capital allocation and how capital allocation is the true determinant of wealth. And so it's really about how well you manage your money, where you put your money, and where you grow your money, and also how you avoid risk. Now, a lot of people like to get in and they like to gamble. And when I say gamble, it's funny. I talked to a client today. He told me I encouraged him to do stock. He's very much in real estate, into that game. And he said he did stock, and he brought, I'm trying to think what stock he brought. He brought Ford. I think he brought, was it Ford? But anyway, he caught it on an up wave, and he said, I got lucky. I sold, I made some money, and I got out. That's cool. He recognized that he got lucky. Again, it's okay to get lucky, but you need to recognize it, because if you don't, you're walking around thinking that you're macho man, super stock guy, super stock gal, and that ain't the case. But going back to capital allocation, it's about figuring out the best place to put your money with the least amount of risk. That's how you really get rich. And there's a reason why real estate people like real estate. There's a reason why stock people like stock. There's a reason why business owners like business owners. And that is because 9 times out of 10, they put in so many hours, that 10,000 hours, they put the 10,000 hours in the real estate, so they understand it. So they're able to take away the risk. So when a contractor or a developer, or let's just say a rehabber, when a rehabber walks to a market, a seasoned rehabber, right, that's been doing it for a while, they can go through and run estimates in their head almost, right? They know how much a sheet of sheetrock is. They've seen what the fluctuations in the marketplace are, because sometimes sheetrock, depending upon where it's coming from, the price will change, right? They understand if a house might need new wiring or not, wire service. They understand what's appealing. They understand what's appealing to the marketplace, right? They're not just watching HGTV or Curb Appeal on Saturday. They're actually in the house, their investment, swinging a hammer a lot of times, getting everything done, or they have done that a lot of times, and now they're hiring contractors that work with them. But they're a master at what they do. So there's not a whole lot of risk in there. Now, again, anybody can potentially lose at some point, right? Or take a loss. That's a part of the game. If you think Warren Buffett never takes a loss, you're fooling yourself. He does. Blackman Hill, how are you? Keys to Motivation, how are you? Thank you for joining me for Wealthy Wednesdays. So if you think that that's a game, it's not. So a lot of us like to jump around and try this and try that, but we never become masterful at anything. And mastery is where the money is. Mastery is where the wealth is. So if you really want to get wealthy, master some shit. All right. Excuse my language. Tara Folk, Tara, I still haven't figured out how to say your last name. Tara Fulgham, I believe it's podcast. What are you saying podcast about? What we talking about? DJ Grimm, my man, about to put you on the spot. I gave DJ Grimm $25 for his birthday to invest in stocks. Have you invested anymore, my brother? All right, Women's Financial Empowerment Group. This is Ruth. I'm an audiobook person. I love audiobooks too. Okay, so why don't I like mutual funds? I don't like mutual funds because they typically are overpriced. All right, so the same thing you can get with a mutual fund, you can get with an ETF. ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund. All right, so Exchange Traded Fund. So let me back up. A mutual fund typically follows an index, right? We've talked about indexes before. S&P 500, Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, things like that. There's just a piece of paper with a whole list of stocks on them. And that's what mutual funds tend to follow. And a lot of times they are passive, meaning that the managers over there aren't really doing a whole lot. They're not generating what they might call in the industry as alpha. And what alpha means is how you're outperforming the market, right? Because there's a certain amount of market-based performance that all stocks get. For example, if the stock market rises, it tends to bring everything up. So when that famous saying, when the seas rise, what is it? When the oceans rise, all boats rise, or something like that. Somebody help me out with that phrase. I know somebody knows it out there. All right, so it's the same thing with the stock market. The stock market rises. Usually stocks tend to rise. Alpha is where a manager or management team, stock management team, is able to go and pick stocks and figure it out and how to actually beat the market over and above they would have gotten it from just regular everyday occurrences up and down in the market. So that's alpha. Again, I don't want to be too technical with y'all. I don't want to put anybody to sleep. So that's alpha. Most mutual funds aren't getting any alpha. Most mutual funds just rise and fall with the stock market. And then a lot of the mutual funds charge a higher fee. So you can get the same thing with an ETF. ETFs and mutual funds are like cousins. ETF is a newer invention of mutual funds. You'll actually see some documentation that will call mutual funds and ETFs the same thing. They're not. They're a little bit different. Mutual funds, you can't buy and sell throughout the day. So there's no liquidity in them. You can't really sell out or find out what you made until about 6 o'clock. ETFs, you can sell 9:30 to 4 o'clock every day. Again, remember, I don't recommend selling in the pre-market and aftermarket. So 9:30 to 4 o'clock every day. Again, price. Here's the other thing people don't realize. Taxation. Taxation of mutual funds suck because let's say you buy into a mutual fund, I don't know, today, June 17, 2020. And let's say our guy, Fred, brought in, I don't know, let's say January 1, 2020. And hypothetically, let's just say when he brought in January 1 and the market's up, Fred made a bunch of money. Typically, when I brought in at 6/17/2020, I still had to pay part of the tax or the same level of tax Fred is paying. And I don't even have the same level of gain or loss, but for this illustration, gain. So there's a lot of things and a lot of reasons why I don't like mutual funds. There are some cases where mutual funds make sense, not many, but I would rather you use an ETF that will do it cheaper, give you more transparency, and give you better tax treatment than a mutual fund. So those three things, right? Better transparency, better liquidity, and better tax treatment than a mutual fund. So I personally like ETFs better. Yes, mutual funds tend to be expensive due to their high fees. Yep. Higher fees as well. Okay, cool show. Not a problem. Women's Financial Empowerment Group says you get hit with fees each time they sell, and they don't do great at predicting or timing the market, so not worth the extra money. Right. The juice is not worth the squeeze. The juice is not worth the squeeze. Not hard at all. I missed that. If you need a car, go to get the money. Oh, if you need a car and got the money, Hertz is having a sale. Okay. My man, Michael Dennis. How are you, sir? I got a buddy in Philly named Michael Dennis, too. So sometimes I hesitate when I see your name. Yeah, you're talking about Elon Musk. They definitely love him. Okay, you're in Phoenix. You know what? Maybe I need to look around Philly and see if Hertz has anything on sale. SpaceX got forgot about. Yeah, to a large degree, but that's going to be a hard market either way. Thank you. When the rising tide lifts all boats. That is correct. Rising tide lifts all boats. Thank you. Chris, you hanging in there with me. All right. So I guess you're enjoying us. Mutual fund fees and taxes are something else sometimes. Yes, they are. ETFs all day. ETFs all day. I should make a shirt saying ETFs all day. Don't nobody steal that idea, by the way. All right, DJ Grimm said, oh, I thought Grimm said something. Oh, Bossman PG said, how was Buffett allowed to start Berkshire A at 267? I don't think he started Berkshire at 267. I want to say Berkshire is at 267. Let's look up Berkshire. Anybody want to look up Berkshire? Berkshire Hathaway. Stocks. Oh, Berkshire Hathaway, 275. Now, a lot of people think Warren has lost his touch because Warren's like 88, 89. So they think the man got old, lost his step. Every time I watch Warren, it feels like he's still sharper than attack. So let's look at Berkshire real quick. No, not Michael Dennis. I've met him real black. I did a movie screening. He came to one time. He's actually a very cool dude. But I actually know another brother by the name of Michael Dennis. And my children are running around upstairs. I don't know if you can hear that. They sound like they stomping around like Sasquatch feet. All right, so Berkshire Hathaway, A shares because there is a Berkshire Hathaway B. There's also a B too. That's much cheaper, but right now it's 275. I would buy it because I'm a big fan of Berkshire. Not at 275, but I can buy a fraction of it. I can buy $10 worth of Berkshire Hathaway. I can buy $1 worth of Berkshire Hathaway, and I'll get a fractional share of it. I'm okay with fractional shares. G-Op, you doing good with your trades? That's good. Did you see that article I sent out with the guy that committed suicide over on Robinhood? Not a good look. So let's go back in time a little bit. So I'm looking at Berkshire. So back in November 1st of 1979, a lot of y'all wasn't even born yet, Berkshire Hathaway was $345. So Berkshire Hathaway has been killing it for years and years and years and years. And when you look at the stock, right, if you ever, it's just a marvel to behold. But some may call me a Warren Buffett fanboy. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But the man knows his stuff. I agree with him. And I'm not just the guy that just woke up and discovered Warren one day. I've basically worked in finance and accounting all my life. Went to school for it, majored in it, and actually had the opportunity to work with institutional firms on Wall Street, actually trading, making my own decisions, making my own trades. Okay, so enjoying the learning. All right, Chris. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so Shamise, Michelle trying to get fancy on y'all. Wait a minute, where's your question? Where'd it go? All right, I'll come back to it. Okay, so Tara said, okay, thank you for answering my question. You asked what we were listening to, and I said podcast. All right, so what podcast are you listening to, Tara? Okay, what never made sense to you? Now you focus. Leah Dumas, you're here. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Michael, is my video still frozen? Am I still frozen, everybody? Can y'all see me on IG? Can y'all see me on Instagram, on Facebook and YouTube? Can everybody see me? Can everybody hear me? No, you can't. Well, can you on IG? You can't hear me, boss man. And you just answered. So who do you use for TA? And so Shamise is being cute on y'all. So TA is technical analysis, everybody. And so what I use for TA, I'm assuming she's talking about my platform, right? Because TA or technical analysis is another way of evaluating investments. There's all different kinds of technical analysis. Basically, what technical analysis is a study of price action. And then you have all these super smart people that have created out how to do like different types of indicators or different types of bars. Like you hear a lot of people talk about moving averages and the 50-day moving average crossing above or below the 200-day moving average or the 100-day moving average. They're all good. But what I'll say is that no technical analysis or no technical indicator is bulletproof. You need to understand price movement. You need to study them. And if that's what you want to do, because you have fundamental analysis and then you have technical analysis. I do both. I kind of always saw the benefit of both. It takes a little bit longer, but I do both. Here's a great question. Carol Allen asks, do you still get dividends when you buy fractional shares? Why, Carol? Yes, you do. And a lot of people don't like fractional shares. They feel like people should just wait to invest until they have the money, or they should pick a different stock. I have a different approach, a different feeling about that. And again, I've told y'all over and over again, my platform is for the beginner. My platform is for those just starting. And so if you're intimidated and you know nothing about the stock market, and you think the stock market is for, those old white guys with the gray stodgy suits that got the black ties on, and you're like, I wear Timberlands or jeans and sneakers every day. It's not for me. That's a lie, right? And everybody typically associates money with the guy with that gray suit on. He doesn't always have money either. Just to let you know, anybody can get into the stock market. And so I preach fractional shares because it makes it open for everybody to do it. You don't need a whole lot of money to do it. You need $1. Uno dinero, or dinero uno. My Spanish is a little rusty. So all you need is $1 to begin buying fractional shares. And yes, you can get dividends. Yes, your price appreciates with the price of the stock, right? It just appreciates at the pro rata share or the equal amount, right? So let's say you own a stock that's $100, right? And let's say you bought $10 of it. It moves, if the stock moves by 5%, your $10 portion of that stock moves by 5%. At the end of the day, all we really care about is price movement. It's not about, hey Jess, how you doing? It's not about necessarily having the same amount of money. So, Uno Dolores. Okay, thank you for that. I gotta brush up on my Spanish. Make a note of that for me, somebody. But so again, I like fractional shares because again, I tell people all the time, we've been trained with a consumer mindset. We need to then replace that consumer mindset with an investing mindset. If you're serious about making money, if you're serious about building wealth, right? Listen, nobody ever got wealthy just buying stuff all the time, right? You got to invest at some point if you're serious. Why not start small? $1, $5, $10. I know a lot of people spend $25 to $50 a month, a week at Starbucks. And this is how a lot of this started, right? So I said, instead of going to Starbucks every week and spending $25 to $100, $25 to $50 at Starbucks, skip Starbucks for a week, make coffee at home, take that $25 and then buy Starbucks stock. So now you give your money the opportunity to make money, right? So there's no guarantee that you're going to make money, right? But here's the thing. If your money never has the opportunity to make money, your ass always going to be broke. I don't know any other way to put it, folks, right? So at least now you have the opportunity to do it. Other question I get a lot of times is, should you pay off all your debt before you start investing? I say no to that as well. There's a reason. I won't go into it. I might do a separate video for that. I'll just say this. We need more savings, right? We need more savings. A lot of people go into major debt because they don't have cash readily available to them. I can't tell you how many people I've seen go into major debt, refinance their homes, and then run it up again and go into debt, right? So it's not just enough to pay off your debt. You got to pay off your debt and retrain your mind. So I say, this is me, this is Kamari, this is the Finance Rebel talking. I say, start paying off your debt, be responsible so the debt doesn't kill you. At the same time, start buying stocks and obviously savings, right? And listen, if you don't have any life insurance and you got kids or you got a loved one, a spouse, get some life insurance too, please. All right, we talked about that last week as well. So, the traditional advice out there only works for people who want to be, I'll say, middle class or slightly above poverty. Maybe upper middle class at best, depending upon that. The real advice for people that want to get wealthy, you got to start taking risk, and you got to start taking or making way better decisions. Way, way better decisions. Like I went on my rant earlier, right? Nobody's coming to save us. So if, a lot of people want to do things for their kids and create generational wealth, that's great. That's dandy. I believe it. Proverbs 13:22 says a good man, and they ain't really talk about women back in the day in the Bible, so I got to remix this and add in a good man or a good woman leaves an inheritance for their children's children, right? So if you want to leave an inheritance for your children and their children, so we're talking about their grandchildren and their children's children, depending on how you interpret it, we could even go to great grands. You got to make some different decisions. You got to make some different moves. And moving like the average or like everybody else isn't going to really do anything for you. So, I say take $25 here, $10 there, and start investing. I'm like 90% away of having my 100 shares in Ford. And I just did that a little bit at a time. I know people that make way more money than me. And I'm trying not to cuss too much because we are on YouTube and I might get flagged. But I'll say this, they F up way more money than me too. And they don't use their money to make them money. All they do is make their money spend. Or all they do is spend their money. So in actuality, they're blowing their opportunity, right? They're running up debt, they're spending money, and they're buying things that will never make them money. They will only depreciate or lose value over time. That's like the American dream. Supposedly. The Wall Street trapper said, if we don't live differently, we have failed our children. I know I know who the Wall Street trapper is. I've never talked to him. I know a lot of people rock with him. But that statement right there is 1,000% facts. 1,000% facts. Well, Bossman PG, a lot of people trash me on my Ford stock. The Incredible Black Rebel, I think that's my man Kevin. I love that tag, by the way. But back to you, PG. People have dogged me on that because they think that anything with an engine is going to die. I think Ford's management team is so good that they're going to be able to pivot And like they already are, like they're coming out with the Bronco. They've got the new Mustang. They dominate truck sales. They got the new F-150. I think they'll be just fine over time, but it's a long-term play. It's a long-term play. Again, don't buy it because I said so. Buy it because your homework bared out that. All right. Remember, what I talk about here is not recommendations for stocks. Before you purchase any stocks, be sure to talk to your investment and tax advisor. Remember, past performance is not an indicator of future results. Past performance, that means if a stock did really good in the past, right? The past right now is the last couple of days, and we looked at Urban One, right? So it did really good, and then it fell off. Doesn't mean it's going to continue to do good. That's what that statement means. So you'll see people say that a lot of times, and you won't get it. No, Edith, I'm not talking about you trashing me. I'm saying people that I know are like, why Ford? Why Ford? Wizzy Mac, Wayne is like the funniest dude on the internet right now, y'all. I can't recommend Wayne because y'all might look at me like I'm crazy. But Wayne's got a lot of crazy, funny stuff on his page. What's up, Wayne? So, or Dwayne, sorry. But I think if you are really serious about looking at wealth and you're working a regular job and you might not have aspirations to be in real estate, buy stocks. Or you might be thinking about getting into real estate, but you don't quite have your money together. You don't quite have your credit together. Buy stocks. You can buy real estate stocks. You can buy stocks without actually owning the brick and mortar. So, keep that in. So the Incredible Black Rebel, right? I think he picked that name because of me. I don't know, but I love that name regardless. I might steal it. I might make a t-shirt out of it. But he asked, what's your take on life insurance? I just talked about life insurance, like literally, like maybe a minute ago, 2 minutes ago. I think life insurance is essential. I think life insurance is necessary. I think life insurance is probably the greatest financial. No, I don't think. I know. Life insurance is the greatest financial instrument ever created. It's great for tax savings. It's great for retirement planning. It's great for income replacement when your loved one dies. It's great for legacy and generational wealth building. So it's great for a lot of reasons. Now you said you gotta make a switch. Well, if you need somebody to get you some quotes or to guide you through that, I got a couple people for you. Just let me know. Okay, everybody said the video was playing, so maybe it was just my man, Boss Man PG that had a problem. All right, so everybody's rocking, right? Nobody's ready to go to sleep. We all here, right? All right, so Ford got the new Bronco coming out on OJ's birthday. Coincidence? I think not. No, it's a marketing ploy. It's definitely a marketing ploy. I'm sure they'll do something reminiscent of that. What was OJ's guy's name? Al something. Al something. Al something. I forget his name. I want to say Al Cower, but I don't know his name. But yeah, I'm not. Listen, Ford is a marketing genius. It was either the COO or the CFO has already kind of created this rivalry, right, with Jeep. And so Bronco is coming for Jeep status. Now, I've already said I want a Jeep one day. One day there was a winter storm. We got like 15 inches of snow. I kind of live on a hill in the middle of the hill. And there was this black Jeep. I forget which one, but y'all know what Jeeps look like. I'm not talking in the general sense of an SUV. I'm talking about the real Jeeps made by Chrysler. And it came gliding up the street in snow, like 15 inches of snow. And it looked so regal. And I am not a car guy, but I fell in love at first sight that day. Al Cowling, right. Yeah, so when Al Cowling was doing the great getaway scene in the white Bronco back in the day. Back in the day, I was telling y'all, right, I'm a product of the crack era. A lot of the doughboys had Broncos and with systems in them, and They were hot back then. AJ Styles. Who's AJ Styles, Michael? Vex Morph. What's up, cousin? What's up, cousin? Okay, you said Collins. Honey Fade to Black. How you doing? Eddie Colson. What's up, Eddie? My brother. I've been trying to get shout out to Eddie Colson. Everybody go follow Eddie Colson. Listen, if you are serious about real estate and you want to learn about wholesaling or real estate overall, check out Eddie Colson. All right, check out Eddie Colson. Nothing much, man. I do this every Wednesday at 8 p.m. This is my Wealthy Wednesday segment. I answer questions. Be sure to share this segment out with everybody else. I'm Kamari Ellis. This is the Finance Rebel Show. The Finance Rebel Show is all about increasing your financial IQ. Shout out to my cousin, Vax. Do you know Vax, Black Rebel? That's my cousin. He just did a beat for me, y'all. Beat's kind of fire. I might start rapping. Ask Vax about my name. How do you know Vax? That's my family. That's my blood right there. That's funny, but he did a beat for me, y'all. So I'll have some intro music when I finally put out the actual audio version of these. I'll put these in audio. So y'all don't got to wait till Wednesdays. And I'll probably start producing more. We're going to do more video too, but I'm trying to get this better set up with better lighting, better camera. I got my camera here. I need to get a new lens to get the look that I'm going for. And a new lens ain't cheap. It ain't cheap. But anybody else have any other questions? It is 10:22. This is the latest I've ever been on. But I got started late today because we got started at 8:30 because I was supporting Black-owned businesses. Got a roof put on today, and I used the Black-owned business. So hopefully you all are using Black-owned businesses. If you are tired of police brutality, if you are tired of mistreatment by the system, if you are tired of white supremacy, please stop giving your money to companies that don't care about your community. Please give your money to people and companies that actually employ people in your community. The black business owners employ more Black people than anybody else in this country, except for the government. Chris, I have a Panasonic Luminex G7. And now I know you are all things audio and digital media, especially video. I think you do. I know you do cameras, right? So I know you do cameras, and I know you do podcasting and audio stuff. But I can't get my camera because I can broadcast with my camera. It gives such a better picture. It's crazy. And I'm trying to get that working and it's not. So it's frustrating. Well, we see negative interest rates for 3 years. The Fed has already said they're not changing interest rates anytime soon. And I think we're at 0.25 right now. They become negative and interest rates increase. Here's the thing though. I'm sorry, they become negative when inflation rates increase. I don't really think inflation is going to increase though. Fed funds rate. Let me look that up real quick. I want to say it's 0.25. Let's look. And they target. So any other questions that you guys and gals might have for me, put them in the comments, but I'm going to begin to wind down because I ain't hanging out with y'all till 11. This ain't no date. Ain't nobody buy me no food. Ain't nobody give me no drink, no libation, no nothing. I'm just here rocking out with y'all. By the way, I'm starting to see this new trend, virtual dating. I think it's kind of funny, but I guess as the time goes, I guess all things will be digital, especially as we see AR coming on, right? So Fed funds rate, like I said, is 0.25. I don't know why it took me so long to find that. Yep, I buy black every day. I try to buy black every day, but but it's a lifestyle. It is a lifestyle. All right, I'm gonna ask Vax about your name. Y'all go way back to '88. Oh wow. Okay. Yes. Colson 090. Lavender Dreams, how are you? Any reasons why you don't mention acorns? I don't mention acorns because acorn is cool for a beginner. You don't get any control over acorn. So I believe the fastest way to become an investor is actually controlling your investments. You only can use mutual funds, and like you don't even get to pick which mutual fund. But acorn is cool. You get to use your change. I mean, I do acorn. For me, it's like a super duper savings account because you get to take your change, they round it up, and they put it into a savings account for you. So I think it's good. But PJ, yeah, it's good for beginners. But what are you doing? Like, so Bruce Lee used to say this, right? Bruce Lee. He said, if you want to fight, you got to fight. If you want to learn how to fight, you got to fight. The faster you start fighting, the faster you get better, right? So he believed in people getting into the ring and sparring right away. Obviously controlled, right? Obviously, you're not putting a white belt or a beginner with an advanced person or a black belt, but you got to get used to getting hit. You got to get used to hitting people. Same thing in the stock market. You got to get used to trading. You got to get used to taking gains. You got to get used to losses. You got to get used to the tax implications of it. Nobody ever talks about the tax implications of investing. So I think that's hilarious and sad by the same way. And you know what? There is a question on my IG that I did not see. Ms. Edith said, GameStop, what say you? I should have my son down here. All he does is game. Ms. Edith, why do you like GameStop? Tell me why you like GameStop. You think people are going to be doing gaming, a lot more gaming now that they're stuck in the house? GameStop is ticker symbol GME. Whoa, that's ugly. That's fugly. Hold on, I will show you all the chart. If I can figure out how to share my screen, that might help. That might help. So let me turn this off. All right, can everybody see the screen? Not you guys over on IG, but I'm pulling it up for Miss Edith. All right, so right now I am looking at a monthly chart. So each one of these bars, green or red, represents a month's worth of data. It's green when it goes up. It's red when it falls down. So it's green when it increases in price for the month. That month, that stock had more buyers and sellers. It's red when the stock is, when the stock is red, that means the price has depreciated or going down in price. That means we have more sellers than we had buyers in that market. And so right now, GameStop is selling at $4.76. Technically, GameStop is a penny stock. Anybody recognize that? They did something a while back. I forget what happened with them. And so GameStop is only worth $308 million. And I can't get any financials on them just yet. Now, y'all was here with me last week, right? This is so funny. So now I can look at, this is so funny, y'all. I can look at, this is hilarious. I can see Yahoo's financials on stocks now. Remember last week I couldn't see them. Yes, Ms. Edith. Yes, penny stocks are the spawns of the devil. Penny stocks are the spawns of the devil. All right, so listen, I am geeking out right now. So we can look at the financials, right? Because I always say, anytime you want to look up a company, Go to the financials, look it up, see how much cash they have, right? You want to understand the story behind the stock. What are they doing? How do they make money? Who are their customers? What makes them great? Are they a long-term player or a short-term player? You want to understand all that before you invest a penny of your hard-earned money into this all. So y'all can see this. They did. So as of last year, at the end of January 21, they reported they did $6.6 billion in revenue. GameStop did $6.4 billion in revenue. GameStop had $470 million in losses. A year prior, GameStop did $8.2 billion in revenue, right? I want you to pay attention to this. $8.2 billion in revenue. How you doing, Pineapple Bacardi? I actually could use some Pineapple Bacardi right now. Tonight will be a great night to have a drink. They lost in 2019. They lost, this is actually for year 2018. They lost $673 million. So they lost $673 million. Okay. January 31st, 2018, they made, right, $9.2 billion. They had profits of $34 million. Doesn't sound super sexy. So they've kind of been, the revenues have been in a downward trend. When you go look at the stock price, that's definitely the downward trend. All right, now I'm looking at the balance sheet. Now, can anybody tell me what the balance sheet is? Can anybody tell me what the income statement is? Come on, y'all. I don't need y'all here just hanging out. I need y'all learning some stuff. Kelly. Everybody say hi to Kelly from Kelly's Closet. Y'all say, I told y'all I was supporting Black-owned businesses. Kelly is indeed a Black-owned business. Kelly sells lingerie for what I like to say, the thick ladies, plus size women. Kelly sells lingerie for plus size women. So everybody check out Kelly's Closet if you're looking for some non-stereotypical models with some plain Jane lingerie on. Kelly's got all that stuff over there. I can't say what it is. Being nice, this is a PG show. This is a family-friendly show. But she got that stuff over there. Kelly's page is very risque. I can't look at Kelly's page. So, all right, just going back to GameStop. GameStop has $499 million on the books right now in cash. That's impressive. But if you look back last year, they had $1.6 billion in cash. So why did that cash position drop so hard in a year's time? All right, so then, it deserves a deeper dive. I could kind of see maybe possibly that they've been cutting some of their liabilities because you see, I can't get any more. Let's see. Okay, there we go. So they had 2.8 billion in liabilities and at the end of 2017, 2.7 billion at the end of 2018, 2.2 billion. So maybe they've been paying off some of their liabilities, but they don't have a lot of money. And I'm guessing a lot of the GameStop locations are actually closed. Okay, so Miss Edith said lingerie is appropriate and sexy. Please stop. Some of it is. It's all, listen, there's no judgment here, right? Lingerie is appropriate for whoever's wearing it and whatever they want to do with it, right? So there's no judgment. I just got jokes. So going back to the stock chart for GME, just give me 1 second as I transition over. Remember I said revenue's been falling, right? It's almost like a downward trend. So look at this. In 2016, stock price starts to fall. So Shamiz talked about TA, or technical analysis, right? And you have people that are squarely in the technical analysis camp, and you have people that are squarely in the fundamentals camp. Now, since Shamiz brought up technical, they'll tell you all day long, everything you need to know is in the price. Everything you need to know is in the price. And I don't necessarily argue that. But sometimes, if you know the market, right, the market is also fueled with emotions, and the emotions are in the price as well. So if you understand the fundamentals along with the price or the price action, it makes a mighty powerful combination. Creating by Naisha says, will you be going over taxes again? I go over taxes all the time. Creations by Naisha. I go over taxes all the time. If you have a question about tax, just throw it in, and I will do my best to get to it. Shoot, actually, my best performing YouTube videos are all about tax. It's funny, y'all get on here, y'all want to talk about the stocks, and YouTube just went out on me. All right, so IG just went out on me, rather. But it's funny, folks get on here all the time, and they talk about stocks. Nobody really asked me about taxes. Nobody really asked me about taxes. So it's funny that she asked that question. Oh, that's a good one. So, yeah, I am not a fan of this. And you know what? I'm wondering why, and I'm rambling on y'all real quick. I'm wondering why my IG went out and it didn't give me the countdown clock. That was kind of weird. It was very, very weird. So GameStop, I'm not crazy about. They don't have that much money. I think they definitely got hit by Corona with store closings. Retail is getting handed, getting their behinds whooped. Try not to cuss on y'all. They're getting their behinds whooped. And so they could always have a great pop, but I don't see this being a great long-term play. So yeah, I don't see this being a great long-term play. GME. Boss man, DNP Financials on my live. What? How am I so blessed? Miss Jack, how are you? MS Ohio. Is it Miss Ohio? How are you? I hope I'm not saying your name wrong. All right, folks, I've been on for a minute. Since we just got the IG going again, I'm gonna keep going on. Any questions, throw them in the comments. Creations by Naisha. What tax questions did you have? Because I had my other tax co-star with me, right? That's DNP Financial, Miss Andrea Jack. She is another tax rock star as well. So listen, y'all know I'm about black business, so I do not hog the positions. I believe there's enough money for all of us. DocuSign a buy, maybe. I think DocuSign has a great business model, and they definitely have a hold in the market. I'll pull a chart up in a minute. What about Zoom? So somebody asked about Zoom. Oh, y'all funny. Y'all over here making jokes. So what happens if Biden wins and next is Jay Powell? So every president, so who's Jay Powell, right? So Jay Powell is the Fed Reserve Chair. And I don't necessarily know that Biden would nix Jay Powell. But listen, every president gets to pick and nominate their own Fed chair. That's just how it goes. So if he picks differently, that's cool. I was liking Jay Powell for a minute, and then it seems like he succumbed to Trump's pressure with lowering interest rates. I don't really feel that we needed to lower interest rates. They were already super low. We were still at all-time lows. But, that's another conversation for another day. But if he nixes him, he'll bring somebody else in. I'm sure that they will still continue on with their low interest rate policy, because it's not just Jay Powell, right? It's the entire Fed Reserve Board. that comes up with that recommendation. He's just the front guy. He's important, arguably the most powerful man in the world, but we'll get it. He'll get it at some point. Thank you. This was my name. The letter says, thank you. This is my first time, and I will be back next Wednesday. Okay. I will be back next Wednesday, too. Same Rebel time, same Rebel channel. Remember, 8 p.m. every Wednesdays. We do Wealthy Wednesdays. I just do live Q&A. We just talk about this money. This money. So Chris Willis, CJ Willis says, boo, GameStop. They're about to file for bankruptcy. I kind of get that as well, because especially when you have things like, GameFly, when they do the mail order, games. I know my son gets it. That business model was dead. Yeah, so GameStop is about to be like Blockbuster back in the day. I'm actually surprised that they lasted this long. Okay, CJ Willis says GameStop rips people off, plus more people are streaming games over stream. Yes, streaming definitely matters. Jamar Jordan, EA. Is another one of my tax superheroes right here. Jamar, how you doing? He's here for the knowledge. What trading platform am I using? So the trading platform that I use there's a few, right? So I still have a couple client accounts. I use Interactive Brokerage. I use Cash App. I prefer Cash App for a lot of my beginners, right? Fractional shares. I got a Robinhood account. And I got one more, but I'm not ready to announce the other one just yet. Because I'm testing it out. All right, so Creations by Naisha says, I am a new hairstylist braider in the state of California, and I'm trying to get info to file taxes the right way. So Creations by Naisha, you have come to the right one, baby. I have a video, and listen, it's a real talk video to my hairstylists and my barbers, and it's on YouTube. It's one of my highest performing videos on there. I kind of give it to y'all straight because I feel, and listen, I am generalizing right now, so don't feel like I'm coming at you in some kind of way. But as an industry, I feel like many of our hairstylists, many of our barbers miss the boat because we don't want to do things legally in the right way. So I'm glad you're asking about doing taxes the right way, because so many in that industry go for the quick cash, right? And they're missing all the heavenly glory that they could be taking part in. Because listen, barbers in our community, hairstylists in our community, been getting money and will keep getting money. If you can get somebody's hair right in the Black community, you're golden for life, 9 times out of 10. Now, obviously, people might move on you, or things may happen. Their sister might start doing hair, but for the most part, as long as you treat them right, it's a good price. They tend to stick with you. They like family. All right, so yeah, but I'm glad you're looking to do it. Do me a favor, Creations by Naisha. I don't know if you follow me. Follow me on IG. Send me a DM. I'll send you that video, and then we can have a follow-up conversation after that. So she went on to say, because I recently ran into someone that tried to do them for me, and they end up doing things totally wrong, and that was a mess to clean up. That happens. That totally happens. And California is a state you don't want to mess up in. Everything costs more in California. Y'all got that sunshine tax. All right, Kelly said, don't they announce a bunch of store closings? GameStop might have. So here is something for all y'all that hold positions, right? So like I hold Ford. Do y'all want to know how I keep up with Ford? Or maybe I should keep that for when I start like a private group. I should give them all my like goodies and stuff, the people that pay me. What do y'all think? Y'all want to know? They lasted this long because the PS4 has a limited amount of memory. I can't see that emoji Creations by Naisha. What are you saying, big time, to Jack? I didn't see it. Yes. Oh, okay. I got you talking about hair. Yes. We'll always get money. Jack has a lot of hair clients too. You know what? And I'll be honest, I put it out there. I always have a hard time working with my stylists and my barbers because they want to be slick, get money, quick money. They like the lottery tickets. And y'all know what I call the lottery tickets, right? That get rich quick money. A lot of times they don't want to pay taxes until they want to buy a car, or until they want to buy a house, or until they want a credit card, or until they want a business loan. And they don't even realize how they're kind of missing out on the game and how the game is really played by trying to do that. Yeah, the beauty industry. I mean, listen, y'all, in the black beauty industry space, like let's keep it real. We getting raped in that space from the gate because we don't most times control the means of production. We're not creating product. I mean, don't get me wrong. We got some people out there doing anything. And again, I'm talking generally, right? So please, nobody get offended. But yeah, until we in a global, yeah, exactly, or until we're in a global pandemic, and they want the PPP or the EIDL, or they want to file for unemployment. I got a couple of stylists that wanted to file for unemployment or the PUA, that's what they call it in Pennsylvania for unemployment for sole proprietors. But there's a lot of money to be made in hair in the hair industry. I know Jack, it's a woman, y'all. Her last name is Jack, Andrea Jack, owner of BNP Financial, right? She is a big fan of Mr. Dudley. And if any of y'all don't know who Mr. Dudley is, I want you to Google Mr. Dudley. I can't think of Mr. Dudley's first name. Jack, what's his first name? And I know I kind of went off on another rant on y'all when we were talking about GameStop, but don't worry, I didn't lose it. I'm coming right back. But I'm really on this. I've always been on a whole Buy Black movement, but I'm super duper on it now. It's like y'all think this is a game. And when I say y'all, again, I'm talking generally. Like, again, we giving our ammunition to them folks, to them other folks, and our people keep dying. And it's sad, right? Joe Dudley. So Joe Dudley is a pioneering in black hair care, not even just black hair care, just hair care all around. So anybody, Naisha, if you're still watching, I want you to look up Mr. Joe Dudley and check him out. He's a pioneer in the industry and in the black hair care industry. He's an older guy right now, old school, OG. But if you listen to him, he's got a lot of pearls of wisdom. And we always have to do our best to honor our elders and our ancestors. So yeah, check him out. I had the honor and privilege to meet him a couple of times. I had dinner with him. I know Andrea has been, he used to have a lot of conferences. He rocks with George Frazier and a few others. And so he's that dude. He's that guy. All right, so GameStop. Yeah, I think GameStop is going down the toilet, folks. Oh, so y'all do want to know. All right, so here's a tip for y'all. And this is all free. I when folks be talking about that $1 million worth of gain, well, you know what? That's the podcast. But shout out to Wallow and Gilly, 215's finest. But free game. We talking about free game, right? I stay giving y'all free game. I'm gonna give y'all some more free game. If you own a stock, right? So I own Ford. I talk about Ford publicly, right? I have a Google alert on Ford. So every time something goes off in that newspaper or on the internet, I get to see it. I don't look at all of them, but I know something goes off. Something goes off every day on Ford. That's one of the ways I keep up with Ford. That's one of the ways you can keep up with your stock, right? Because everybody's talking about they don't have enough time to do it. Doesn't take a lot of time. You got to read some of the core documents. You need to understand them. You need to understand some accounting principles. You need to understand that cash will always be king in everything that we do and say, right? Whether it's in the stock market or in personal life, it's king. But you also have to understand that looking at stock is almost just like looking at children. They all have different strengths. They all have different weaknesses. One isn't like the other. So years ago on the radio, that's where people start first noticing me a little bit. I called Facebook and I told people not to buy the Facebook IPO. And I was right. What I got wrong, admittedly, is I didn't call it on the way up. I think Facebook opened at 40-something-ish. dropped down to 16 or 17 bucks over a couple months, and then it proceeded to launch and get back up the air. But again, you gotta really be in tune with what's going on with the market. So that's why I'm saying set that Google alert. Don't fall for every trick, right? Be good stewards of your money. Be good stewards of your money, and don't try to buy everything, and don't try to swing it for the park and try to get rich quick all the time. Forget the lottery tickets. Lottery tickets are a lie. All right. Any other questions? All right. CJ Willis asks, what about the public trading platform? I saw they actually stopped folks from trading. So, Chris, when you say public trading platform, I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about. Are you talking about the stock exchange? Because I do believe they halted trading on Hertz at one point. Oh, I didn't see it today. I was busy with clients today, so I didn't get to be in the market. Now, everybody, I want y'all to know that somebody just stepped in the room that I was talking about. My son is on this live. Shout out to Junior's Washing Detail. My son has a car washing detail company that he's looking to grow. He don't listen to me though. So when I told you I cuss my son out sometimes, I do. But he knows I love him. I tell him I love him every time I talk to him because I do. And I think it's important that we tell folks that we love them. Everything with us a lot of times is, yeah, we hard, yeah, we tough. But at the end of the day, that ain't what it's about. So, hey, son, how you doing? So, all right, who has more questions? Right. So, Naisha, again, remember to DM me, follow me, and I'll send you that video about hairstylists and barbers. So I'm a little rough on y'all, but it's in love. It's all in love because I think y'all probably have the greatest opportunity than any Black owned business that's out there right now. Because again, the market's changing a little bit, but I know barbers who still sneak in to cut their clients' hair. So that means that their clients still want to get their hair cut, that they're willing to go against the law, break the law, and get their hair cut. And when you have that type of level of loyalty and demand, you can make all kinds of money. And so the only thing I wish for hair care as it relates to Black business is that we make more products. We support those products that are good, right? Because I talked about it earlier. We don't just support Black-owned businesses because they're Black. We support Black-owned businesses because they have great business, great products, great service, and because they're Black. Can't have one without the other. That whole notion of we just want to support because they're Black is dead. And that's what gets people lost up with their money. Oh, it's an app called Public. Okay, I've never heard of that. Hey, remember I told y'all last week, I learned from y'all just like y'all learned from me. So it's definitely a mutual exchange. So when I was talking about the money, y'all not paying me, I'm only joking. I got jokes, y'all. Okay, Boss Man PG. I feel like Boss Man PG. I think you know the answer to that question. Hey, Grum, let my son come wash your vans. He can do fleet service for you. Y'all see that? So my man is a delivery guy, like high-level delivery for corporation. My son does mobile detail car wash, and there's a connection right there. All right, so what is a blue chip stock? A blue chip stock is a stock that is well-established or a company that is well-established and that typically pays a dividend. When you think of blue chip, what do you think of? You think of companies like Procter & Gamble that makes everything under the sun. They've got several billion-dollar brands, right? You think about, I'm trying to think, oftentimes blue chip is associated with the Dow Jones. So you might think of Home Depot, you might think of Microsoft, even though Microsoft is a tech company that usually don't throw tech in blue chips. But Microsoft and Apple have been around for so long that they are now considered blue chip. So blue chip just means established. Blue chip means stable. Blue chip means reliable. So a lot of these companies. So I'm going to pull up a definition. So it says Stocks that are considered blue chips generally have these things in common. Large market cap, right? So they're not small players. They're typically worth more than $10 billion. Blue chips are large, right? Yeah, yep. Said that before I even got to it. So meet the 10 biggest blue chip companies. So they got Apple, they got Disney, right? Everybody thinks about Disney. McDonald's is probably in that mix too. That's considered a blue chip. They got Facebook on here. I don't think Facebook is old enough or tenured enough to be considered blue chip, but they're on here because Facebook kind of changed the marketplace. And so they get that level of respect in the business community. Berkshire Hathaway, we looked at the Berkshire Hathaway chart earlier. Visa, Johnson & Johnson, definitely considered blue chip. JP Morgan Chase, ExxonMobil, all considered blue chip. All considered blue chip. So my son's name is Kamari, right? Kamari Jr. So Kamari, make sure you reach out to Grim and get his phone number. So y'all maybe can work out some business. So, all right, Creation by Nation says, okay, thank you. I really need the info. Info now and downs, the vet. Okay, I'm not sure what you're saying. Now and downs, the vet hairstylists and or others are not doing things the right way. No, they're not. They always telling the new people to get fast money. Right. So right. Basically what Creations by Nation is saying is that they want that fast money. Yes, Grim, he'll come to South Jersey. Creations by Nation said, I need to know what I'm doing, and education is already okay. Say no more. I do that for fun. So Bossman PG, I'm not following you on this one. You said, are they long-term investments or small caps and mutual funds? Listen to Dave Ramsey today and got confused. Listen, y'all, do me a favor. Can we not bring, all right, listen, Edith brought up Wall Street Trapper, right? I'm cool with that. Can we, let's stick on this black on black theme, right? Let's not bring them more white folks. And I'm not picking on you, boss man. I know, listen, I have ultimate respect for Dave Ramsey. Some people call me the black Dave Ramsey. Whatever. I know they mean it as a compliment, so I ain't tripping. But I want to create some black Dave Ramseys. Some real black folks actually named Dave Ramsey that I can be compared to. I don't be compared to the white guys, but that's just me. But Bossman PG, to answer your question, it's not about the investment, it's about the company. So the company represents blue chip. It represents a brand. It represents value. It represents stability, right? So when you invest in them, whether it be for the short term or the long term, you don't have to worry about them going out of business right away or at all. All right. So RotoDoc, now today, yeah. All right, cool. Because on the socials, folks be catching feelings, and so listen, I'm the same dude I am in person that I am online. So this is mine out there. I say if I'm gonna call you an asshole in person to your face, I'll say it online. A lot of times I'm not gonna call you an asshole in person because I might not be feeling that. Basically, I'm the same. I don't change. I might crack a little bit more jokes here, but other than I'm the same person. Right, IBM is a blue stock. IBM is a blue chip stock, not a blue stock, blue chip stock. Right, my man, we ain't doing no tripping. Hey, Nicole, you back? Thanks for joining us. Okay, Tara asked, what is the homework? So the homework I'm talking about, it relates to what you and your personal goals are, Tara. So when I say homework, I'm talking about stocks. I was talking earlier about people, about recognizing that I have more power. And when I'm saying that, I'm not tripping. What I'm saying is people take my advice, or that's wrong. That's wrong. People will take what I'm doing and then they will do it, but they'll do it because I did it and not because that they feel it's good for them. They're only doing it because I did it. And I'm saying that's not the right way to do it. Yeah, baby steps is cool. I do agree with Ramsey when he says stack up $1,000. Um, my problem with a lot of these TV people is many of them are not professionals. And if you stick around with me long enough, you'll know I don't even like the professionals, right? So you got to keep it all in context. But what I say professionals is they haven't really dealt with people to know the inner workings of what they have going on financially. They're a radio disc jockey. Ramsey never worked in the financial industry. He never did accounting. He never was a financial advisor. Again, this is no knock on Dave Ramsey because I really respect the audience Dave Ramsey has. I mean, when you talk about, I studied Dave Ramsey. I won't lie about that because he creates raving fans. These people love him. I'll tell y'all a story real quick. I have a lawyer who I do business with. I go to the lawyer's office. They know I'm a financial person. They know I help this lawyer with their taxes. They know I help this lawyer with their investments. And they still want to talk to me about Dave Ramsey. So what does that tell you? That means Dave Ramsey got people that love him. And I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at that. What I would say, though, is that Dave Ramsey is, and I talked about it a little bit earlier, Dave Ramsey is what I call middle-class advice. If you want to listen to Dave Ramsey, you're only going to go with so far. And I say that because the way he talks about debt, I talk about debt like that very similarly, but there may be a use for debt at some point in your life. Dave Ramsey is totally anti-debt. I'm anti-dumb debt. Dave Ramsey is totally anti-debt. I believe you can use debt to make money, not irresponsibly. But on the same vein, right, I hate the credit card industry. Again, it's nuance, it's context. I'm here to give it to you all. I don't want to sugarcoat it. I don't want to play games. I don't want to fake the funk and try to act like something I'm not. But, there's a lot of people out here saying that credit is more important than cash. It's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. And the only reason they're saying that is to sell their product or service. And I have no problem with people making money, but do it ethically. There's a million people out here that need to get their credit fixed or need help with their credit. But guess what? Once you fix their credit, guess what they're going to need to do? They're going to need the cash to pay the credit card bill. They're going to need the cash to pay the home mortgage note that you got. They're going to need the cash to pay the car note. By the way, I don't think you should fix your credit just to buy a fancy car either. And that's what you see a lot of people promote, this idea of superficial consumerism. Cars is a bunch of trash. The only good thing about cars, right? And listen, if you're a car person, cool, I get it. But we talking numbers here, 1, 2, and 3s. If we're talking about cars versus buying stocks, I'm going to buy stocks all day long, unless I'm a car buyer and seller. If it's my business, most people aren't in the business of buying and selling cars. So, you got to look at things. We love, again, microwave generation now. We love these pop fly phrases. We love these, what are they called? These quotables, these tweetables. And people fall for that. So, any other questions? All right, it's 11:04, y'all. Like, I'm only supposed to be on and out this late with somebody I'm on a date with. Where my girlfriend at? Shaking it around. She should be telling me to get off right now. Can't be hanging out with y'all this late. All right, so I'm gonna end out in a minute. So Boss Man PG says just a lot of black churches push his material. Yeah, I get it. He's a Christian. So he resonates with that market. There's a lot of other black Christian guys who do the same thing and they don't get the same amount of love. But I digress. Get off. All right. Well, I'll be here. I'm here more than on Wednesdays. Naisha, I'm here on Wednesdays. I'm here on Saturdays. And you will see me in between. Listen, as I get off, I want y'all to go read the article I put out. Dear White People, 9 Ways You Can Help Black Folks. Or what did I say? 9 ways. If you want to help Black folks, do these things. So y'all go check that out. It's in my link on my IG. I believe it's on my Facebook page. I know the video is on my YouTube page. So y'all check it out. I want y'all to read it. And I want y'all to tell me what y'all think about it. And then I want y'all to tell me what other ways do you think that white people can help black people in a true and honest fashion. Now, again, I told you I wrote it. It's kind of tongue in cheek. I don't believe that they really want to do it. But the Netflix CEO basically show improved. He did his thing. 40 million to Morales, 40 million to Spelman, 40 million to UNCF. So that's dope. Bossman PG, I am here on Saturdays at noon. I usually do what's called Wealthy Conversations, and we talk about money. Matter of fact, since Andre Jack is on here, maybe I'll get her on Saturday, not Sunday, on Saturday. But we just have a conversation about their business and just about money. One of the reasons why I do this, right? I had a talk show years ago, and it got canceled. And I was like, I don't want to say I was upset. I was kind of upset, but not really. What I was more upset about is that when it comes to black programming and black radio and black television and just black media, nobody's talking about money. And then so I kind of dove into podcasting and then discovered video because honestly, I would rather do radio. But now we're here. Video is part of the mainstream. It's here. It's no denying it. So my fuel is that why don't we have more black folks? I was going to say something. I'm trying to be nice though. Why don't we have more black folks on mainstream media? But you know what? We don't need mainstream media anymore. We don't need mainstream media anymore. We got the internet. We got these socials. So I can talk to y'all direct without going through an intermediary. And I'm cool with that. If y'all cool with it, I'm cool with it. All right, Jack, you down? All right, so we're going to talk about how to build an accounting and tax practice. Yes, create our own lanes. Absolutely. Jack has helped me out tremendously in this, right? I consider her my sister. I want to say some other things right now, but I ain't going to clown her right now. But you know I've also helped push her too with her content. Like she's phenomenal. So everybody, matter of fact, everybody make sure y'all go follow DNP Financial. Check out DNP Financial. There is no selfishness over here. Only people I don't like are the charlatans. And there's plenty of charlatans over here. There's no charlatans over here, but there's plenty of charlatans out in the world that are black, white, green, and yellow. So that's all I got to say about that. Oh, and Epic Success, what are you saying? Man, it's hard to get some black folks to listen, i.e. families and wills. Yes, all right, so my mainstream success, what I want you to do, I want you to go over to the Buy the Hood, right? So Buy the Hood, they're actually my partners in the Black Wealth Project, right? But they interviewed my homegirl, so I'm a little peeved with them right now, right? It's awful play. But they interviewed my homegirl, Rhonda Anderson. So go over to Buy the Hood. Buy the Hood. They're on IG, they're on YouTube, and they're on Facebook. And they have a wonderful interview with Rhonda Anderson, who is an attorney, talking about wills. And Epic Success, we need that out there. We need to understand estate planning. We need to understand wills. We even need to understand trust. Now, trusts get more attention than they deserve right now because most of us aren't trustworthy. Not trustworthy, but trust as in the entity. Because people don't realize that trusts have to pay taxes. People don't realize that trust needs bookkeeping too. A lot of times these so-called gurus are out here slinging trusts. They're slinging LLCs. They're slinging corps, S corps and C corps, but they never tell you everything that goes into it. They tell you about all the good, but they don't ever tell you about the bad. So I've talked enough about that. Tamara's got a question. Oh, it's not a question. He said there's definitely a difference when you have an 800 credit score versus not. Yes, Tamara, there's definitely a difference. But guess what? There's a difference when you have 800 credit score and no money in the bank, and when you have an 800 credit score and you got $1 million in the bank. Everything's relative. So, you know, again, our culture, we look for lottery tickets. And you know what? It's not even fair to say our culture. In American culture, a lot of times we've been programmed to look for lottery tickets. Guess what? I would take $100,000 over 800 credit score any day. That's the question. Let me tell me before I get off. What would y'all do? Would y'all rather have an 800 credit score or $100,000 cash? Forget about what your credit score is now. Forget about what your bank balance is right now. What would you rather have? Starting from zero. Love you too, Jack. Nisi M 2020, how you doing? Thanks for joining. You're joining at the end. We're just coming here, but just to let you know, I do this every Wednesday. This is our Wealthy Wednesday. I'm the Financial Rebel. I'm Kamari Ellis. We do this section of the Finance Rebel show called Wealthy Wednesdays, where I just come here, hang out, ask questions, and try to help everybody increase their financial IQ. Got over 20 years of experience, actually more than 20 years, but I say 20 years because I don't want y'all trying to figure out how old I am. But I got over 20 years of experience between accounting, financial advising, and institutional Wall Street investing. So I've seen a couple things. I've been a couple places, and I just try to come here and share with everybody. All right. So CJ Willis says 100K. Tara says 100K. All right. DNP says, give me the money in the bank. Boss Man PG says it. You got it. I see so many people say 800 credit score. I'm just like, you do know you could have an 800 credit score, no money in the bank, and not get approved for that mortgage that you, quote unquote, did all this work to get your credit in order for. So listen, I'm going to leave y'all with this, right? There's no such thing as a bad financial product. Again, there's no such thing as a bad financial product. There's bad strategy. And when you don't understand the financial products and how they work with and against each other, you can't formulate that strategy. So you have to understand the products. You have to understand the strategy. You have to understand the mentality or the psychology with the person that's trying to use these products, strategies, or services, and then put it together all in one mix. But again, there is no bad financial strategy. Excuse me, there is no bad financial product. There is only bad financial strategy. So I'm going to leave y'all with this. I'm Kamari Ellis. Hope you all got some value out of this. If you did, share it. Share it with somebody else. I ask you all to like my YouTube page. Going over to youtube.com/Kamari and subscribe to the page. My goal, I'm not really tripping on social, but I would like to get to 10,000 on everything. 10,000 seems to be the magic number. So if y'all can help me get to 10,000 on everything, I can help more people. I can expand my reach and do a whole lot more education. So I appreciate you all being here with me tonight. I will be here with you on Saturday at noon, and I will be with you next Wednesday at 8, God willing. All right, folks, have a great night and invest in some stocks. Later.